Okay, guys, want to give you a recap of our meeting last night, our cashier's meeting, and this is going to be pretty quick. I just want to go through it with you. First is our secret shopper results. Our secret shopper results have been pretty poor of late, but here's what I want you to know about this. I think you are the best cashier team in the company. But we are shifting in the way that we are doing some things, the way that we're going to present things to the guest. They're just minor tweaks for us. You are the best sales team in the company. We need to, well, what I want to say is I know you're the best, but in order for the whole company to know you're the best, we have to do better on our secret shopper scores. So every guest, every time, we want certain things done, and so I'm gonna insist that they are done my way, the company's way, the way that we present it to you in just a second. Developed a new strategy for our cashiering. It basically looks like this. We want to greet the customer 2 times, when they walk in the door and when they approach our POS station. So every customer ought to get 2 greetings. Now, the whole shift, the whole team on a particular shift is going to be graded on greetings, because I understand you could be talking intently to a customer and miss an exit, but somebody in that shift ought to greet every customer as they walk in the door and get every customer as they exit. But we want 2 greetings as they walk in the door and at the POS station. So as they approach the POS station, hey guys, how are y'all doing? All right. Now the very next question we want to ask, and we don't want to let them talk too much. They say fine. We want to say immediately, are you celebrating anything today? We get their answer, and then we immediately say, is this your first time here? Now those first 2 questions have to be done right up front, right at the beginning. So we greet them at the POS station, then we ask, are you celebrating anything today? And then we say, is this your first time here? Now you got to memorize this. You got to know it backwards and forwards. There's no excuse at any point. There's no situation where you will not ask those 2 questions right at the beginning. There's no circumstance where you won't do that unless they just volunteer and say, hey, we're here celebrating our birthday. It's our first time here. Then obviously you wouldn't ask them if they're celebrating anything or if it's their first time here. Very, very important. You're accountable for this information. We want you to do this right at the top, the beginning of the conversation. Are you celebrating anything today? Yes. No. Is this your first time here? Yes. No. And then we want to explain the specials. We need to use the word specials. Guys, let me tell you about the specials today. Now, here's where you guys are the best. Then just sell the product. Let me tell you about the specials today. Sell the product. After you sell the product, you're actually going to sell the specials or explain the specials. You run through the sale. You're going to take their money. You got the receipt. Every guest, every time. We highlight the survey. We let them know, here's the survey. You can get free game cards next time you're here. And then we want to get the e-blast card. Now here's a change. We want to say your email signs you up to win all day. Fill this out. Drop it in the red box. We have to use the word email. And we don't want to say, would you like to give me your email? We don't say that. Just say, your email signs you up to win all day. Fill this out, put it in the red box. We give stuff away all day. All right? Real simple. As the customer is leaving, here's another change. As the customer is leaving you, you must say to every guest, every time, have an incredible ride. Have an incredible ride. Have an incredible ride. You got to say that. Okay, the next thing we talked about was a culture of cleanliness. Here's some things that you need to know. 1, we must use the cleaning checklist. We must use it. The whole shift, everybody on the shift is going to get a grade on the cleanliness for that shift. So you got to use the checklist. I want individual cashiers responsible for individual items, and then I want to see your little initials by those items that you perform. If you don't do something, don't put an initial by it. Just don't put anything by it. If you don't do it, don't put anything by it. But you got to use the checklist, and we want you to do everything there. All right. I want you to develop an eye for detail. If you walk by the diner and you see that the mailbox, the black mailbox, has fingerprints on it, clean those fingerprints. If you walk by the kiosk machines, notice if there's dust on the top of those things and clean it. Develop an eye for detail. All right, we've got to stay organized. If you'll notice, the front office has been cleaned and organized. Nick is the mastermind behind this, so if you need to find anything, you need to ask him where it is. We've got to keep it this way at the end of every shift at 4 o'clock and then at 8:30 or 9:30. We want the office to return to the state that you found it in. So at 4 o'clock, the office has got to be perfectly clean. At 8:30 or 9:30, when you leave at night, the office has got to be clean and organized, just like you found it that day. Unacceptable for it not to be clean and organized. Perfect. It's got to be perfect. We're going to develop a culture of cleanliness. We're going to be clean all the time. All right. The office is no longer a break room. If you're off the clock, you cannot spend your time on break in the office. You cannot eat in there. The only time you can eat in the office or bring food in the office is if you are on the clock and we tell you we want you to stay on the clock while you eat. That's the only time you can eat in the office, and then you've got to clean your food up immediately. I don't want drinks brought in the office. If you want to drink while you work, you need to get a small cup with a lid and a straw, and you can have that out by your workstation. Let's see. Now, I am going to turn my new office. This is my new office. I'm going to turn this into a break room for you. All right. So once I get it cleaned up, you will be able to come into this office while you're on break and listen to music and whatever you want to do and eat, and all that. But I will demand that this office stay clean as well. Thank you very much for your cooperation. You are now accountable for that information. All right, the other thing we talked about was incentives. You will start getting rewarded when you do well, because we expect you to do well. We expect you to do everything that we ask you to do. So we're excited about that. We'll have to tell you about that later. I don't want to take time on the video. Hey, have a great time. Remember, you've got to greet them twice, at the door and at the POS station. Your very first 2 questions. Are you celebrating anything today? Is this your first time here? That's got to happen every guest, every time. Then you explain the specials. Use the word special. Guys, let me tell you about our specials today. All right, even if the customer comes in 30 minutes before close, you still have to tell them about the specials, because we want you to tell them to come in earlier next time. All right, then after you ring them up, you highlight the survey, tell them they can win free game cards by filling out the survey. Give them an e-blast card. You say your email signs you up to win all day. Fill this out, put it in the red box. Thank you, have a nice day. Excuse me, that was wrong. Have an incredible ride. Every guest, every time.